Hey, how y'all doing? This is Mongo Slade, and we're going to do our NXT report for October the 14th, 2020. So the show started with Undisputed Era. It was an interesting opening because Undisputed Era were positioned as being heels, while they piped in a lot of boos for Undisputed Era. They also worked heels. Undisputed Era wrestled Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan in a tag team match. It was a number one contenders tag team match. The winners were supposed to face Breezango, which would be October the 21st. That's when that match would take place. But I was kind of confused that they did a heel versus heel, but it was still a good match. Burch and Lorcan really hit. Like, they laid their shit in, man. Like, they're really good work rate guys, really good mechanics. They're not nothing to write home about as far as personalities and all that type of stuff. But you want to see some good stiff work. Lorcan and Burch are your guys. But obviously, Undisputed Era won, rightfully so, and it was good. It was a good opener. We found that in the next segment, we found that Finjala, oh boy, Finn Balor. Finn Balor now has metal in his jaw from his double jaw surgery or whatever. They haven't decided of what they're going to do with the title yet. So there's a chance that he might get stripped. Now I did see somebody on Twitter say that the NXT title is probably cursed, and I don't know if it's cursed. I just think that so many, but with Balor touching it and getting hurt, and Keith Lee touching it and ended up on Raw wearing a singlet, and Karrion Kross getting hurt. But that's really kind of it, Like, there really hasn't been a NXT Championship curse, like when guys getting hurt. But this does suck. I don't think they'll strip them. I think they probably just kick the can down the road, because really you'd have to put the title on one of the old faithfuls again. You really can't put NXT in a position where you're trying out new guys at the top. So they did an Ember Moon promo, which still it was a pre-tape promo explaining why she hurt herself in 2019. She spent the whole year working to rehab to get back, and then when she decided to come back, she decided to come back to NXT because it's home, and she wants to conquer the best women's division in wrestling, and it was fine. It was fine, but let's be honest about it. Ember Moon shouldn't be talking. They doing. I get they're trying to make her a star, and they should. You should. If you put a lot of effort into her coming back, she's put a lot of effort into coming back. Get what you can out of it. But at the same time, let's just understand that Ember Moon probably shouldn't be talking so much. Just saying. Especially if she still ain't got much to say. She just doesn't have that much to say. And I don't know, like, personally, I don't see how we need to hear her talk so much. But whatever. The next match was Ashanti Theodonis versus Jake Atlas. I like Ashanti Theodonis. I don't understand why he's saddled with wearing a fanny pack, though. He's wearing a I don't know if it's a rainbow fanny pack, but it's one of those things where it looked like something a teenage girl would have worn in 1982. It's not cool, but I like the character of Ashanti Theodonis, and he had a pretty decent match with Jake Atlas. It was pretty short, but they did some pretty cool exchanges as far as really showing Atlas being agile. This match is also face versus face, which is really weird because they essentially did that all night, though. They really didn't pay any attention to babyface and heels. They pretty much just did babyface versus babyface 2 or 3 times. They did heel versus heel 2 or 3 times. But this was a good match. Jake Atlas is very athletic. They did a good job showing off his athleticism. Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza came down to the ring to distract Ashanti Theodonis because he attacked them at the TakeOver show. And Jake Atlas used that to roll him up and pin him. After the match, Ashanti Theodonis got into a fight with Legado del Fantasma. Jake Atlas came out there to help him. And then Isaiah Swerve Scott came out there as Santos Escobar came out there. So apparently the Swerve Santos Escobar storyline is not over. I don't know why it's not over, considering he beat him clean. Well, as clean as could be, considering, he's a heel and all. I don't know why that story is still going on. I think it should be pivoting more towards Ashanti the Adonis and probably moving more towards Swerve doing something else on the higher level of the card. But I mean, it's not my show. But I'm just saying, Swerve is a good talent. I don't see why he's stuck in this position. I don't see why. Look, I'm not saying it like it's a bad thing. It's just that the cruiserweight title is kind of an afterthought. If it was a focus, because Santos Escobar looks like a star. But he's just not positioned as a star. He's not positioned as a main event act because of 205 Live. It's like you just don't see enough of the cruiserweights in order for him to be considered a top level main event or guy. It's just you just don't see enough cruiserweight talent being positioned. You see more cruiserweights being treated as job guys than you see them being treated as main event guys, and that hurts the title. Even if it doesn't, the champion is not the one who's being jobbed out and everything, but all of his contenders are pretty much getting bounced around like ping pong balls. So just like Jake Atlas really just didn't he get destroyed by Tommaso Ciampa? And he's a cruiserweight guy, and well, I guess he came back and had a pretty good match with Tommaso Ciampa, but still, he got bounced around like a ping pong ball, almost murdered by Tommaso Ciampa. That didn't do good for the cruiserweight division. So you got to do something. You got to help this cruiserweight division. Then they went and did a heel versus heel match with Austin Theory versus Johnny Gargano, which got an absurd amount of time. Look, Austin Theory can work his ass off. The kid can work. It's this awkward situation of, the allegations and everything. He's just like, not like Velveteen Dream, because most people don't hate Austin Theory the way they hate the Velveteen Dream. And I wonder why. I really do wonder why. But, I'm not gonna cut that promo here. Matter of fact, yes, I will. I wonder why people are so upset about allegations of things, but they're not all that upset about things that really happened. Like, it's weird to me that there are several wrestlers with like DUIs that could have killed somebody. That stuff is like legit lethal, could have murdered somebody, and people are just kind of like okay with that. Like that's weird. Like they will rather cancel you for an accusation of something that you probably didn't do. But if something that you actually did do, they kind of turn a blind eye to that. That's weird. I find that to be very strange. But Austin Theory and Johnny Gargano had a pretty good match. It was heel versus heel, so I don't see the purpose of it. Austin Theory has no direction. Johnny Gargano is being gifted another title shot. I mean, we'll talk about that in a minute. But there was a lot of thigh slapping in this match. It was a good match. I just don't see the benefit of it being heel versus heel. Like, who is supposed to benefit from this? They're slowly but surely telling this story with Austin Theory about him being sort of frustrated, because he's not on a losing streak, because he actually has won matches, but he is not living up to his expectations or living up to the expectations given to him. But Johnny Gargano is sort of taking a liking to him. After the match, after Johnny Gargano pinned him, he kind of gave him a little look like, okay. So it looks like the Garganos, LeRae is going to take Indy Hartwell under her wing, and Johnny Gargano is going to take Austin Theory under his wing. Okay, that might be interesting. So in the next segment, Raquel Gonzalez challenged Rhea Ripley to a fight, and they will have their match finally at Halloween Havoc, which is really interesting. So I'm okay with that. Tommaso Ciampa, he's watched the Velveteen Dream interfere in his match with Kushida. He's really mad. Now he wants to beat up the Velveteen Dream. So I guess we're going to get that match or something. I don't know what's going to come out of that. Maybe they're going to have a triple threat match or something with Kushida. So the number one contendership for the women's championship was Shotzi Blackheart versus Candice LeRae. I don't get the obsession with Candice LeRae. Like, she just got beat. I don't understand why she's back. I get that. Maybe look, man. Let me put my ink pen down for a minute. Look, fuck Candice LeRae. Okay, it's not working. Whatever you want to do with Candice LeRae, it ain't working. Can we and look, here's the thing. She won this match. Now, Shotzi Blackheart gets the bulk of the offense in every match that she's in. They really do a good job of really showing off Shotzi's stuff. And I think she does some really good stuff sometimes. Like, I really like her cattle mutilation. I really like that she uses it. I like the way she uses it. I like the way she uses it in this match. And, you know, it's like she does a good mixture of Daredevil dumb shit and submission style match. You know, she does a good mixture of that. Like, she has very complex offense. And so, you know, it's an interesting style. But Candice LeRae, man, you would think that Candice LeRae is fucking Hulk Hogan, the way she gets title shots. I don't understand why she gets so many title shots. So she won this match because Indy Hartwell slipped Candice LeRae a weapon from outside the ring. I didn't see what it was, but she was at ringside and she slipped something to Candice, and Candice hit Shotzi with it and pinned her. You know, it was okay to protect Shotzi, but Shotzi she gets these 20-minute matches every week, and sometimes she wins, sometimes she loses, but Shotzi gets her time, but Candice LeRae gets the push. I don't know, man. Look, fuck this Candice LeRae stuff. I don't know how many times I can say, but the Candice LeRae experiment is not working, dog. It ain't working. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not clicking. It's not clicking. Speaking of not clicking, the next segment was Killian Dane and Drake Maverick. Now, Drake Maverick was doing a thing where he was trying to make this team work. So now he's trying to make team stuff. So he came up with the gimmick of the Furry and the Fury, where because Killian Dane is big and hairy, that he's going to be the Furry. And because he's small and fiery, that he's going to be the Fury. And he's been making t-shirts, and he came up with the music and all this type of stuff. And of course, they're doing the whole Killian Dane didn't want anything to do with it. And, you know, they're doing the odd couple. I get it. You know, but here's my thing, man. I'm tired of, let's talk about their match. They had a match with Imperium. I just wrote down the Fury and the Furry, or the Furry and the Fury versus Imperium. I like Imperium. They are a good, serious tag team. And that's something that this division needs. It's like Undisputed Era is a good, serious tag team. There are too many goofy ass tag teams, especially in WWE. The Street Profits are goofy as shit. New Day is goofy as shit. We don't need more goofy ass tag teams. Breezango is goofy as shit. Like, what is it with the tag team division that it has to be slapstick comedy, sideshow goofiness? I don't get why the tag teams can't be serious, you know, Imperium type tag teams, or like a serious Hurt Business tag team, or, you know, something like that. Or why they have to be comedy goofballs, especially if they're the baby faces. You can be baby faces in a different way outside of being comedy fucks. Anyway, the Imperium won the match, rightfully so. They're the better team. And after the match, you know, Killian Dane looked like he was gonna bail on Drake Maverick, and then fuck ass Everrise came out, and they decided to go all middle school bully on Drake Maverick and pushed him around a little bit. They didn't really do too much to him. And then Killian Dane stood up for him. Killian Dane defended him. So, you know, okay. They're still doing the odd couple, still comedic. They're still doing the whistle song, and Drake Maverick is doing his silly dance and whatever, man. But I'm over these goofy tag teams. I'm tired of that shit. All right, so something good happened. Toni Storm returned. They changed her theme song. They changed everybody's theme song. God damn. She wrestled Aaliyah. Now, Aaliyah is not Aaliyah Mysterio. Now, there's two Aaliyahs. This is the Aaliyah with the Robert Stone brand, the guy who looks like Tony Khan. Now, Robert Stone is something that could be cool. But they going with the comedy route where they just won't let him be serious. And because of that, Aaliyah, even though she's kind of smooth in her offense, she did some decent stuff in this match. But she can't be taken seriously because she hangs out with this goofy ass Robert Stone. And, you know, they're just a comedy job team. They don't take anything seriously. Like, I get that they're on TV now, and maybe they want to, spice things up by trying to make things funny and fun, but no, take some of this shit seriously. There's too much haha. Let's put it like that. It's too much goofy shit on NXT now, and I think that's a major change from the way things used to be. NXT didn't have this much comedy before. It's too much comedy shit. Anyway, Toni Storm came in. They treated her like a big star. They announced her before the show happened, and baby girl, she still stacked like a wedding cake, but not so much so. They going for the cake lovers demographic, and she won with her. I was about to call it a Pearl River plunge, because that's what I know it. I don't know what she actually calls it, but it's essentially a tiger driver. And the weird thing in this match was that they were doing atomic drops, and I'm talking about knee to the front atomic drops. And I kind of say to myself, does that really hurt women? If you do an atomic drop, like a low blow to a woman, really? We could do without that. Let's put that. But I like Toni Storm. I really do like Toni Storm, not just because she's thick, but because she can actually work. So, and Aaliyah actually is not that bad. She, if they actually took her seriously and used her manager effectively, and didn't treat him like a fucking comedy act almost immediately, then she might be better off on the card. But obviously she's kind of stuck in Nowheresville. She's not going to get an opportunity. So then they did a segment where William Regal was voicing his displeasure at how Candice LeRae cheated, but didn't want to change the rules. So it was like he had to accept that that she won. And then Xia Li walked up to him and asked for a match next week, the October the 21st. And William Regal said he would think about it. And then she kind of said, like, I really, really need this. And she sounded like she was really stressing how much she needed this match to happen. And she sounded like almost like a hostage from Law and Order SVU. And she just sounded like this was the worst thing that could possibly happen, is for her not to get another opportunity. And Boa was standing right there, speaking to her in Mandarin. So it's like, hey, if she doesn't succeed, she's going to get deported or something like that. So that might be pretty cool. I'm interested in what they're doing with this. So then the main event was Dexter Loomis versus Damian Priest. That's right, babyface versus babyface. And I don't know why. And I don't understand where Dexter Loomis get a title shot from. That came completely out of nowhere. But I think it was because he was in that he was supposed to be in a ladder match and then he got taken out. But this match was actually pretty good. I was actually startled by how good this match was. Loomis is very, very, very athletic. And it showed off. Like, both of these guys were pretty fucking athletic and they were still kind of they weren't really working like big guys. They were working smaller, doing a lot of arm drags and, but it wasn't a lot of unnecessary running. There was some very physical offense. So it wasn't terrible. It was pretty good. And it actually made some sense psychologically, some of the stuff that they were doing. And they were basically impressing each other. So it was pretty cool. They got to show off a little bit. And one thing I don't like is when they do this big spin kick with Damian Priest. And he kicks the person, but they don't take a bump. Like, if I think he's what, 6'6", 6'5". If that guy does a spinning kick on you, you should take a bump. I'm sorry. Take that bump. Loomis just basically kind of wobbled a little bit. And I believe Johnny Gargano didn't even take a bump when he did it. I think it's just a setup to another move. But no, take the bump. What the fuck? You just got spin kicked by a big ass man. Take that bump. If you get caught with it flush, take the bump. It just doesn't make any sense. The finish came with Cameron Grimes doing the curb. I'm about to call it the curb stomp. The cave-in double stomp on Dexter Loomis when the ref was not paying attention. And Priest was able to win with the South of Heaven chokeslam. Pretty good match. Damn good match. Enjoyed it. We'll probably watch it again. And then, as Priest celebrates, he walks away. And then he notices that Cameron Grimes has slid into the ring and is taunting Dexter Loomis. So Damian Priest attacks Cameron Grimes and uses his finish on him, the Reckoning, and then tells him to stay out of his business. And then he continues his celebration. And then he walks up the ramp, and that's when you think the show is over. Fucking Johnny Gargano hits Damian Priest with a steel chair. I was like, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. So then William Regal comes out and makes Johnny Gargano the #1 contender for the North American title. And then says that there's going to be special stipulations for these matches. I don't know what it is with WWE and the rematches, man. I don't like. It's a TV show. Like, you literally can put anyone in that spot. Literally anyone. Why Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano? I don't know why. Why? Do they have? They must have something like on. They must have like Triple H's laptop with like some really incriminating emails. Or like him sleeping in the bed with a crack pipe or something like that. They got to have something like that on Triple H. Otherwise, there's no reason why the fucking Garganos keep getting title shots. They're not that good. You know, they're not really good at all. And it's like they just follow the titles forevermore. It's like it's not really going to be beneficial. It does not benefit Io Shirai or Damian Priest to beat them again. It really only hurts them to beat them again because it shows that the division is empty. You could be building up other people. Where the fuck is Thick Boy? Where the hell did he go? Is he hurt? I don't know. It's got to be somebody else. It's got to be somebody else. It can't just be Johnny Gargano. Then what happens if Johnny Gargano, which is a chance that they put the title on Johnny Gargano? Then what? Heavens to shits. What the hell is going to happen if Candice LeRae is at the top of the division? That's going to fuck up everything. If you put the title on Candice LeRae, then you fucked up our Io Shirai Ember Moon match or our Io Shirai Toni Storm match. I want to see both of those matches. I don't want to see fucking Candice LeRae. I don't want to see that shit. So William Regal announced that there's going to be special stipulations for these matches, and then Shotzi Blackheart as the host of Halloween Havoc, because that's where these matches will take place in 2 weeks at Halloween Havoc, which is a TV show. And said that it's going to be a spin the wheel, make a deal kind of match. I don't know what that means. That sounds like some WCW shit. Or it might have been some shit they probably pulled on one of them gimmick Raws in the past. Because I know they was doing a lot of gimmick Raws, you know, in like 2008, 2006 and stuff like that. It sounds like some shit they would have done on there. Like, spin the wheel, make a deal, pal. I don't know, man. Look. You could have just told me what the goddamn gimmicks were going to be. You know, maybe it's going to be a tag team match and, you know, it's winner take all, which it probably will be. Something stupid like that. It'll be Io Shirai and Damian Priest versus Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano, winner take all. That would be a tremendous fail. That would be a super fail. The only thing I can think of that would be, especially if they've had ladder matches on NXT already. They've had cage matches already. I don't know where they could go as far as making it interesting other than some kind of standard boilerplate what's the shit I'm thinking of? Some kind of boilerplate Falls Count Anywhere match. But, you know, and I mean, I'm talking about for each match. I think if I was to guess what kind of stupid shit they would do, it would be winner take all in a tag team match. But I think they're going to keep it as 2 singles matches because that would make more sense and actually help them as far as the stuff that they're trying to get out of this, which is basically they're trying to pop a rating. So just go ahead and get the number up and have 2 separate matches. And I think that they're going to be, hopefully they're going to be good gimmick matches to cover up the fact that we've already seen these 2 people get beat already. But, you know, this is NXT now. You know, a lot of comedy shit that doesn't really fit the rest of the program. You know, it's unnecessary comedy and rematches. You know, people we've already seen wrestle. But it was still a good show because I enjoyed Dexter Loomis and Damian Priest. I enjoyed Ashanti Theodonis and Jake Atlas. I enjoyed Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory. And Undisputed Era versus Danny Lorcan and Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch was also pretty good too. So it was mostly good show, you know. And I'm just kind of, disappointed that, they not being creative as far as putting new people in new places. But like I said, this is still a rebuilding era for NXT. But you really could have used Halloween Havoc to actually build new people. I mean, that would be nice. And cutting down all this goddamn comedy. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video, share it, subscribe, donate to the channel, and I'll talk to you guys later.